Good evening, everyone. Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening. We'll get started. Welcome to, Python training. Yesterday we discussed about how to, okay. What did we discuss? We discussed about database, right? We discussed that database is used to store information, right? And the systems, database systems or the software are designed for handling large volume of data. Okay, it is used to handle large volume of data. Sorry, one. Second, accessing data is easier. Storing data is easier. Updating, deleting data is easier. Okay, so that's why we need to develop a different types, different software for database. Okay, specific software for database. We discussed about the roles. Okay, you have database administration, developers, and programmers. We generally fit into programmers category, where we need to perform crude application on the database or on the data, right? So data is stored in the table, and we perform create, that is to add new data. So if let's say there's a new user registration, we need to add new user information in the table. Then let's say there is a you need to that is insert, right? You're adding a new record to the table, so you are doing insert. You want to check, okay, if somebody else wants to log in, right? Already existing user wants to log in, so you'll be checking into the database to see if the username and password match, correct? Then you have update, if the user wants to update something, okay, so they will use update, and finally delete, right? So yesterday we learned how to create a table using create table command, and we learned crude applications. So today we'll continue. Okay, there are a few more things we will discuss which are part of crude. Okay, so before we get into that, there are two main types of database that are generally created. Okay, so you have something called as, okay, I'll move here and we'll do it here. So we have something called as OLTP database, which is online transaction processing, and you have OLAP database, online, okay, A is for analytical processing, okay. So what is the difference between them? Okay, so the main difference is that OLTP database is used as a live system where users can connect multiple users, okay, heavy users, okay. If we talk about maybe IRCT kind of applications, thousands, tens of thousands of people will be logged in at any given point of time, okay. So that's an example of OLTP, where database is live, users are getting connected, okay, many users are getting connected, right? And and you are supposed to as a user, okay. So now as a user you will be able to access all your data, okay. The second type of database is called OLAP, online analytical processing. These are databases, so these are part of your OLTP, okay. You take part of OLTP data, okay. You don't sit with OLTP data, you take part of OLTP data and you work on it for doing your analysis. This is offline data. For example, I want to know what happened in September month. September is running, right? August month. Okay. I want to see what happened in August month. So I don't need to connect to the live data. I will ask the database administrator to give me data, okay, of August. So the the database administrator will go get the data from database and give me just August data, okay, and then I can perform all the analysis. So all when you hear about data science, analytics, okay, data analytics, okay, machine learning, data science, okay, you talk about warehousing, data warehousing, okay, you have business intelligence. Sorry. Business intelligence. These are all examples okay, of applications of your OLAP. Okay, but when you have to build and run the the application, okay, so all the live applications are example of OLTP. Okay, live applications. So there's a, so both are database. Okay, the structure, it's, I mean, OLAP is part of OLTP, right? So you need to put OLTP first, get the data into OLTP, and then you take a portion of it for your analysis. Okay, OLTP, if you see, the bulk of the applications that we do, or bulk of the commands that we run, are more of writing. Okay, so when you log into Amazon account, okay, when you log into Amazon account, okay, you want to run the query, okay. Sorry, I got muted. Okay, so I was saying that, okay, in OLTP, online transaction processing, okay, most of the commands that we run are your insert, update, right? Mostly insert, right? So when we log into our Amazon account, very rarely you will go and see, what product you bought, right? Because Amazon is good at shipping and you get the product. So we don't, I mean, sometimes, it's been 2 weeks and you didn't get your product, then you'll go and see what happened, what's the status of my product, right? Very rarely we do. We just, most of the time you will log in, almost, I guess, maybe, 3 to 4 days every week you will log in to see the product, right? You go, you see the product, okay, and you want to see the cost, you want to see if there is any discount or not. Now, when you do that, okay, the machine has to capture your login, right? What else, what all products did you go through? Those informations will be used for analytics later. Okay, so that's an example of your online transaction processing. Even the product that you are seeing, okay, even you want to see the product, those are live product, right? Not the product which is old and not not available. So okay, so it is always about live data which is current, most recent, right? So OLTP is, in a way, it's very difficult to maintain. Okay, not difficult, it is complex to maintain, right? You have to make the system up and running, all the information has to be updated. You bought a product and you want to see if the product has been added to your orders or not. So you can go and check, right? It should be added, right? It cannot say that will take 10 minutes to update your record, right? It will get immediately updated. All those are the operations of OLTP. But you want to do some analytics. You want to see who's my best performing salesman. Okay, how much sales did I make per quarter, per week, per day, per month? These are the data you need from past data, right? So these are all analytics, okay? Machine learning, data science, warehousing, business intelligence, all these are concepts based on OLAP. Okay, so you should know what OLAP and OLTP is. That was the purpose of talking about it. Now we'll go back to the same example that we did yesterday. So let me, okay. So here you see what we did was, okay, we'll revisit each of the commands that we did. Okay, so I want to import SQLite 3. Okay, so I'll copy this part here, and see, I don't have to create database, right? I don't have to create database because database is already created, student record. I don't have to create table because the students table is already created. But of course, I can perform insert, isn't it? So I'm going to say insert. Okay. So see, this is direct insert. When you have the value, okay, you have the value here, and directly you can say insert. But let's say I want the user to give the input. I want the user to give the input, and that value I want to insert. Okay, so maybe what I'll do is I will create a for loop. Okay, while true, and here I will say to the user, you need roll number, name, and age. Roll number, let's assign roll number by default, name and age. Okay, so we'll read name, age, and there's one more thing, right? If I remember correctly, we have name, age, and fees, admission date. So what we'll do is we'll take admission date from computer. Okay, so let's see here. So there are 5 values which we need to read. Okay, roll number. Okay, then you have name. Okay, then you have age. You have admission date. Okay, roll number, name, age, admission date, and fees. Okay, so let's say these are the values. Of course, these are the values we need to add, right, when we do insert. Okay, so in roll number, let's do the auto calculation. Okay, so when you enter, look at the maximum value in the database. Okay, and add 1 to it. That means if the latest roll number in the database is 109, then it should take 109 and add 1 to it. So roll number should be 110. Okay, that's what we want. We will take roll number as 110. Okay, perfect. Now, okay, so name and age, we will ask the user to enter. Okay, so name, I'll say name equal to input, enter the name of the student. Okay, so you get name. Okay, age also we will input from the user. So I'm going to say int of input, enter the age of the student, right? So student age will be converted into int. Admission date, we will take default today's date. Okay, so we need to read, okay, from today's date. Okay, now fees will read from a list. Okay, so we will have a fees from a list, you say, or okay, so let's take from list only. Okay, this is how I'm going to create. Let's say the fees is based on the age, for example, just to demonstrate you different ways of taking the value and forming the query and executing it. So I'm saying fees list equal to, okay, so first index is 0. So when it is 0, fees, fees is 2000 rupees. Okay, 0 years old. 0 means between 0 and 1. That's what. Okay, 2000, because you want to, very difficult to handle that small kid, so fees is high. Okay, for 1 year also it is 2500, let's say. For 2 years it is 2300, then 2400. After year 3 you are decreasing the fees, it is say 1500. Okay, 1600, 1700, 1800, 1900, 2000. Okay, so you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we'll add few more here. Okay, let's say, these are the fees. Okay, now based on the age, okay, based on the age, you will take the fees. Okay, great. So these two values we are taking from the user, and other three values, roll number, admission date, and fees, we will calculate. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay. So first, how do we calculate this? Okay. So first thing is we need to calculate roll number, isn't it? So to calculate roll number, we need to execute the command, which is the Sql command, and we need to, okay, take that value here and assign it to this roll number. Okay, so we need to execute the query. Now, what we can do is, okay, we can execute the query and save the maximum value here. And in roll number, we'll simply keep on adding it. That also we can do it. So how do we read the data? We'll say select. Okay. So we'll say select here. Okay. Select star from students. Instead of star, I'll say max of roll number. When I say max of roll number, okay, when I say max of roll number, okay, let me make it false. Okay, I don't want it to execute. So I'll make it false for now. I'll just demonstrate when I say max of roll number, okay, and when I say, cursor fetch all, okay, or you can even so fetch one. We don't want many, right? Maximum will give you only one value. So you can say fetch one also. You'll get one row. Okay, so it will be list of tuple, isn't it? So what I'm going to do here I'm going to say max roll equal to values of 0. Okay, and let's print this max roll. Let's see if our experiment has been successful or not. I'm going to run it. So see, 104 is the maximum roll number. We got it, right? So maximum roll number is 104. So when you are performing this roll number, so we will say roll number, okay, equal to max roll, okay, plus 1, right? Once we are done, we can now increase the value of max roll by 1, isn't it? Max roll plus equal to 1. So once we read, so we don't have to connect to the database again and again. If you want to connect to the database again and again, we have to copy all these 4 or 5 lines and put it here. So before we start the program, I'm running the query, getting the maximum value. Okay, this is the query. Select maximum of roll number from student. I'm running the query, saving that value, okay, in max roll, and I'm using whenever I need roll number, I will say roll number equal to max roll plus 1. So max roll will have the highest value, and we'll just add to get the next roll number. Okay, so we have got the roll number now. Roll number is done. Name is done, age is done. Admission date. We need to get admission date. So how do we get the admission date? Okay, you can get the date from date time, isn't it? So we need to import a module. We did this before, right? How to read date. So there's something called as date in date time. So I'm going to say import, okay, date time from date. Okay, or rather, no, this is not the right. So we have to say okay, it is I got it wrong. Okay, so date is in date time. Okay, so I will say from date time import date. Okay, so date time, okay, date time has date time, date and time. Okay, it has all this. So I want to use date. So I'll say date. Okay, and now I'm going to say admission date here. Okay, admission date. Oops, not capital. Admission date equal to date dot today. Okay, dot today. When I say date dot today, it should give me today's date. Okay, so admission date is today's date is also confirmed. Now fees. Fees is interesting, right? So I will say fees equal to, okay, fees list of age, right? So based on the age, we have the fees, let's say, right? So if we enter age as 8, it will go and pick the 9th value here or for the age. So we have 0, 1, 2, so on. Okay, see, I'm just telling you how we can create value randomly using multiple uh, you know methods, right? So you can calculate based on database value itself. You can enter name, or by asking the user itself, age by asking user itself. You are using a date value here. We are doing some formula to get the value from list. Okay, just to demonstrate different types of values. Okay, so finally we got all the columns value that we want, all the 5 columns. Okay, now we have to do the insert here. Okay, so I'm going to say insert into, and we have to commit at the end, right? Execute, and we'll say commit. Commit is connection.commit. What is connection? Connection is con, C-O-N, right? C-O-N dot commit. Okay, so commit is done. Now here into insert into students. Okay, now is here we are giving all the 5 values, so we don't have to say this, but let's say we we write here. So roll number, name, age, then admission date and fees. Okay, so let's look at the value, the column names, exact column names that we have. Admission date is ADM date, perfect, and fees is fees. Okay, perfect. So admission date, comma, fees. These are the column, and the values here. I'm going to now see here. This is the one more thing that you have to keep in mind. Okay, for Python, this is a string. Okay, but for SQL, it is a SQL command. So you cannot give like here variable name. If I say roll number here, okay, or what did I say? Yeah, capital R, right? Not recommended, but let's say. So for Python, it knows that it's a text. Okay, it's a variable, so we can put it here in something like this. But remember, this will send to the database as it is, and this is not a SQL command. This is not a SQL query. Okay, this is not a SQL syntax. This is Python syntax. It will work for Python, but it will not work for SQL. So how does SQL manage is you have to say here question mark. Okay, so we have 5 values, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to put 5 question mark. We say assigning values dynamically. We need to assign values dynamically. Okay, if you have all the values directly, you can put it. Okay, but we have to assign values dynamically to the SQL query. Okay, so you say insert into students, question mark, question mark, question mark. Okay, and then when you say execute, okay, so you say insert 1, and then followed by a tuple of values. This is where it accepts. Okay. Now you give your value here. Roll number, comma. Next one is name, right? Name, comma, age, comma, ADM date, admission date, comma, fees. Okay. So, okay. I hope this will run. Okay. Let's run it and see. Okay. Let's run it. See if there's any problem, we'll fix it. Okay. See, the best way of doing programming is that you first do what you think is right. Okay. Maybe if you know, if in my case, I have some experience on working with Python, so maybe 80% of the time it will run fine, but still 20% of the time my code will not run. I'll get some error and I have to go back and see the error and fix it. You are starting up, so maybe 20% of the time you will not get error, 80% of the time you get error. That's obviously, you cannot get the program right in the first attempt. You have to write, you have to practice. Okay, you see the error, oh, error is there, you go back and look at the error and go and fix it. Okay, so let me see if I can get this or not. Okay, one more thing, I have said false, so anyway this will not run, so I have to make it true. Okay, after making it true, okay, it is an infinite loop, isn't it? I have to ask the user, do you have more record to update? Okay, if it says no, right, that's when we will end it. So I'm going to say here ch int of input, enter 0 to stop it, enter 0 to stop it. Okay, and I'll say here if ch equal to 0, okay, break. Okay, or here we can put 0 as string also, right? Why need to be number? Okay, we can have 0 as a string. Okay, why to add extra step here? Let's take a string only. Okay, now let's run it. Okay, let's see if it works fine. Enter the name of the student. Okay, so I'm going to say Pant, let's say. Enter the age of the student, let's say 5. Enter 0. See, no error. That means it has run perfectly. Otherwise, it would have thrown error, isn't it? Okay, I don't want to stop. Let's do it one more time. Okay, I'll put something else other than 0. Name of the student, say B Kumar. Okay, age 8. Okay, now I will put 0 here. Okay, so you see, this is how we got it right in the first attempt. Okay, but generally it doesn't happen. Okay, you need to practice a lot, then only you will be able to get it right from the first attempt. Okay, so what we did now, we dynamically created an insert command and we added the value. Okay, so for now what I'll do is I'll make it false so that when I run it again, these things should not be called. Okay, the purpose of showing you dynamic query is done. So part 1, steps to demonstrate insert using dynamic query. Dynamic query means building the query in the program itself. You do not have fixed value. Okay, you are building using program. So okay, you have to keep in mind that when you are building this string, you have to say question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark for all the variables. Okay, let's say I know the name Pant, so I can directly say Pant here, single quote. Okay, sorry, not double quote. Okay, SQL accept on a single quote. So what happens? This is the fixed value, so it will remain fixed. But I want it to be dynamic. Okay, I don't want it to be whatever the user says, that value I want to give. So you will convert it into question mark, and then you pass the values here as a tuple here. Okay, so this is successfully done. Now, now you want to check, right? If the data has been added or not, right? So I'm going to say, anyway, we have this command here, right? So select one. Okay, fetch all. Okay, and I'm going to run it here. So select all the roll. Let's select all the roll number. We'll see only roll numbers. Okay, and fetch all. I want all the roll numbers, right? Let's say we have fetch all the roll number, and then you can print values here. See, 101, 103, 104, 105, 106. These are the roll numbers, right? 105 and 6 we created. Okay, so see, the values are created in the table. Okay, you can say select star here, then you get everything. Right? 101 Sachin Tendulkar, 103 Virat Kohli, 4 Rohit Sharma, 105 Pant, 106 B Kumar. Right? These are two values we added. Okay, so this is how you form a query at the runtime, and you execute the program. Of course, you can create similar query for update as well. Okay, so if you want to update a value from the user, you will put it as a question mark, update, update students, set, say roll number. Okay, not roll number, let's not disturb full number. Let's say age. So set age equal to question mark, and then you pass it like this. Okay, so this is how we built our dynamic query to add the values. Okay, now the most interesting or most important topic, okay, here is select reading can be done in multiple ways. Okay, we can have conditions, a lot of other things. So okay, so what I'm going to do is we can do it here itself. Okay, using let's say here. Okay, let's try to change the queries here. Okay, and see what happens. So let's say so I'm thinking, okay, so let's say I want select star from students. Okay, that means select everything from students, and but I want only for roll number 4. I want only for roll number 4. So I'll say select star from students where roll number equal to 4. Where is the key? If you have to pick specific value, where condition is, okay, you say roll number equal to 4. Okay, and when you run it, you get, so there's no one with roll number 4. Okay, there's no one with roll number 4. Roll number is, now we'll say 104. Then when we run it and see what happens. So Rohit Sharma has roll number 104. So we got this value printed. Okay, now okay, let's say class, right? I want age. Okay, I want everyone with age more than 5. So age, and if you want greater than or equal to, right, you can decide. Let's say we'll do greater than equal to 5. Okay, so we got Sachin Tendulkar with 9, Virat Kohli 12, Rohit Sharma 8, Pant, almost everyone is here, right? Let's say we'll remove 8. Okay, so I'll say greater than 8. Age greater than 8. Okay, not even equal to. All the 8s will go away, isn't it? So now you only have Sachin Tendulkar age 9 and Kohli age 12. Okay. Okay. The next query I want to build is where, say, age is greater than 8, okay, and okay, so you have this here, right? And where, okay, and where name starts with V, okay. So where age greater than 8, we are getting two values, isn't it? And now I'm going to say and. And means you're adding one more condition, exactly like that we discussed in Python. And means both condition has to be true to get the value. If both condition is true, here in this case, column which meets both the conditions only will be selected. Okay, otherwise it will be rejected. So based on one condition, we have two queries. Sorry, two information, two records. Now with one more condition, let's see if it matches or not. So I'm going to say where, okay, where name like, okay, where name like, okay, always in database in SQL programming, okay, single quote is used for reading text. Single quote is used for reading text. Okay, so that's why we can give the query in double quote. Okay, don't give double quote when you are reading a text in SQL. Okay, it accepts only single quote. So I'm going to say name like S star. Okay, so now see Virat Kohli is dropped. We only have Sachin Tendulkar. When I say name, okay, so quotation means you have a text value, okay, which is fine. Now, in the text value, when I say S, I want the name to start with capital X. That's what it means. Okay, first character has to be S. Okay, that's why we got rejected. Okay, first character we want is S. Okay, and then we said percentage. Percentage means first character has to be S, and I don't care what is coming after S. Percentage means any character, I don't care. Okay, first character. So it's like saying the name should begin with S. Names should begin with S, and after S, whatever comes, I don't care. So that's why you see Virat Kohli is rejected. Okay, we got only Sachin Tendulkar. Okay, there are a lot of commands that we need to learn. Okay, so today we'll just talk about some of those. Okay, and we'll finish off database today. Tomorrow when we meet, we'll talk about files, how to handle files. Okay, so let's take some more example here. So select star from student. Okay, fine here. Now I'll say so instead of age greater than 8, I want age between 8 and 11, let's say. So I'll say where age between, okay, age between what? Between 8 and I'm going to remove this name like, okay, because anyway we have only one S, right? So we can remove it. So I'm saying age between 8, okay, space. Age between 8 and 12. So it will only display the players whose age is between 8 and 12. Right? So Pant is probably more than 12 or less than 8. That's why Pant you didn't get, but we see we have all the other players. So you have 9 years, 8, 12, 8, right? Say you want to remove Rohit Sharma. So what I'll do, I'll say 9 and 12. Rohit Sharma and Bhuvneshwar Kumar, B Kumar will be removed, isn't it? Because we are saying 9 to 12 and the value they have is 8. So we got only 2 records here. Okay. Now, if you want to practice SQL programming, okay, especially select. Okay. See, if you see here, the CUD, right, which is create, update, and delete. Create, update, delete is simple. Okay, you need to know just one thing, but select is very complex. Complex in the sense it has a lot of things. Okay, see, right now I'm only talking about one table. In in reality you'll be talking about 1, 2, 3, 4 multiple tables. Okay, so this is for your interest. If you want to learn about SQL, okay, and if you have an interest in SQL, you want to learn about SQL, then Oracle has given us a free website where we can go and practice our SQL knowledge. Okay, so I'm going to show that here. 1 second, I'm opening that page. Okay, you should be able to see this, my web browser. Do you see, all of you? Okay, so this is called as livesql.oracle.com. livesql.oracle.com. Okay, in live SQL, this is a website, okay, given to us by Oracle. And if you want to practice, okay, there's nothing like it. Okay, they have a lot of sample data for us to practice. Of course, you can use it to practice. Okay, now let's say so when you open live.sql.com, okay, this is the link, live.sql.com. okay, once you open here, then you have to sign in. Now, if you do not have an account, I have an account, so it will allow me to sign in. Okay, this is my account and I have signed in. If you do not have, you can create your account. You see that at bottom you'll have create your account. You can create your account. Okay, if you create your account, okay, you will have access to this live SQL. Now this is totally free. Okay, so there's no payment or no payment, or what do you call limited access or things like that, or free trial. Okay, nothing like it. You simply have to create an account, okay, and then you'll have access to the entire live SQL. So I'll say start coding now. So advantage is that it has a lot of tables, lot of data. Okay, we can learn, multiple queries. Okay, select query. Okay, so this is called SQL Worksheet, SQL Worksheet. This is where we write our command. So I'm going to say select star from. Now, what is the table name? We don't know, right? So you go and click on this, this 3 lines that you see, and you can click on schema. The schema is the sub database, right? And you can select the schema here. So you see, you have academic, analytical views, customer orders, EMP score, human resource. These are different data. Let's take human resource database. Okay, Oracle has already created these all tables and values for us so that we can practice. We don't have to create and then practice. Okay, so now you see these are the tables. You have countries, okay, you have employees, okay, you have jobs. Okay, let's run employees. So this schema is called HR, right? HR schema. So okay, see, these are all your read access only. That means you can't do insert, update, delete. You can only perform select. Okay, see, this view is given to everybody in the world, right? So they don't want you to go and delete or update any value. Okay, so this is a uh, you know HR schema, and it has different tables. So I'm going to access employees table from here. So I'll go to SQL worksheet. Okay, SQL worksheet is where we go and do the programming, isn't it? So I come here and then I say select star from HR dot employees. Okay, now remember, you can put semicolon at the end of the line. So remember, schema is called HR. Okay, and employees have all the data here. So I want to say select star from employees. I'll just go and click on run. See, these are the values which is already added for us. You can go and see the values here. So you have employee ID, which is the primary key, employee first name, last name. Okay. Now I want only employee ID, first name, last name, okay, and phone number. So I want only employee ID. I told you, right? SQL is case insensitive. It's not going to compare your cases. Yes, text is not. Okay, so if something is text, for example, last name is text, okay, first name is text. So here I cannot say S small and I'll get the value. No, it has to be S capital. But the column headers and the commands that we type, these are all case sensitive, except the varchar or character values. Character values, varchar values are sensitive to case. So I say employee ID, comma, first name, comma, last name, comma, phone number, let's say, phone underscore number. Column name will not have space, okay? So you have to be careful about it. Now go and click on run here, okay? Click on run. So see, we got employee ID, first name, last name, and phone number as it is. So we are seeing select employee ID, first name, last name, last name, okay, and phone numbers. Okay, so this is how you can give the column names and say from HR schema name dot employees. It gave us all the values from the employees. Okay, now let's say I want to combine first name and last name. I want to combine first name and last name. How do I do that? Okay, how do we combine? So here, okay, we can say, let's first print first name only. So select first name, okay, 5 last name from okay. So both queries are there. So if you want to run only the second query, you select the second query and then you run it. So see what it has done. First name, pipe, last name. So ln able. Okay, if you want to see, we can put both first name and last name, and then let's compare and see. Okay, see, first name, last name. When I say pipe, it has added ln able. Now you want to add space in between them. So we'll say first name joins space joins. So see ln space able. Now header is appearing exactly what we did here, isn't it? So I'll give it an alias. Okay, alias is saying as, or I'll say as full name. Okay, now if I run it, see, I said as full name, right? So this entire thing got replaced with the full name here. So you have full name here. Full name, ln able. Okay, all the names that you see are here. All clear? In any question here so far? Tell me the chat. Are you okay or you have any questions? Okay, and we can keep on, uh, building more and more SQL query. Okay, let's say we perform sum and average. Okay, so if I go and run the first command itself, you have okay, let's do star. Okay, star will tell us all the column names, isn't it? Okay, oops, what happened? Select. Oh, D is missing here, isn't it? Okay, still select star from HR.employees. Employees, correct, right? Then why invalid statement? Yeah, I think I did not run it. I did not hit it properly. Okay, so you see, so we got all the data, right? Now I want to count how many, how many employees are there. Okay, so since employee ID is primary key, employee ID will have all the values, isn't it? So I'll say count column name. So I'm going to say count, okay, employee ID. Employee ID. I want to do sum on salaries. So I can say select, okay, sum on salary. Okay, so if I run, what happens? You get the total count, isn't it? Okay, total count. So 107. Sum of salary, it will add the entire sum, right? Okay, so you have, okay, 6 lakhs, right? 6,91,000. Okay, that has become your table. Now I can give a condition. Okay, I can give a condition. I can say where, okay, salary. Okay, let's run first again. We'll run all the data. I want to see some column names here. So let's say department ID. Okay, I want to see department ID. I'll say some salary from HR employees where department ID equal to 90. So this is the salaries of all the employees belonging to department ID 90. So this is 58,000. Okay. Now, there's one more important command called group by. Okay. So I go here and I say select sum of salaries from HR employees. Okay. And I'm saying group by. Group by is a command when if you want to group the specific set of values. So I'm saying group by department. Group by department ID, right? Department ID is the key. Let me run it. Okay. And this department, we will print the department ID as well. Let's print the department ID. Okay, then see what happens. Okay, so see, these are the sum of the salary by each department. It's grouping by each department. Department 50, this is the sum. 40, this is the sum. 10, this is the sum. 90, this is the sum. You can do average. You want to see which department is has highest salary per employee. So you'll say AVG. AVG of salary will calculate the average. How do you calculate average? Sum by total count, isn't it? So this is the average salary. Now I want to order by, okay, order by the average salary. Okay, so I'll say as AVG. This is the heading I want to give. Okay, group by department ID, and then I'll say order by AVG salary. Okay, so AVG salary is what I have created. What happened? Didn't run. To run, select and run. So you see this. Okay, so it has created average salary, and since I said order by the minimum salary, so department 50 has salary minimum, average salary of 3,400, average salary of 3,400. Okay, 30 department has, so highest paid department is department ID 90. Okay, so you can do max, min, sum, okay, average, all those things you can perform. So group by we saw, order by we saw. Okay, now if you want to put it in decreasing order, right? By default, it will do in the increasing order, right? If you want to decreasing order, you say decreasing, DESC. Just put DESC here. Okay, it has put it in the reverse order or decreasing order, or we call it descending order. DESC is short form for descending. Okay, so by default, when you don't give, it does ascending order, or you can say ASC. 3 letters. ASC will give you in ascending order. DSC will give you in the descending order. Okay, so this is how you can perform your SQL query. Okay, we'll stop here. I hope you have learned something about database, right? We learned about database, we learned about SQL, we learned about how to execute a SQL query using Python, isn't it? So we'll stop here for today. Tomorrow when we meet, we'll talk about how to handle or how to work with files. Okay. So yeah, take care everyone. Have a good evening and we'll see you tomorrow with new topic. Okay. Take care. Bye. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here. Okay. Otherwise, we will end it here.